this what you came for? Don't you wish you came more? Girl, what you playing for? Come on, let me kiss that. Ooh, I know you missed that. What's wrong? Let me fix that. Twist that, baby, tonight's the night.
All right, welcome everybody. All my friends and family there in the back. It's good to see everybody today. And my name is Samuel Millette, and this is Sambition. This is part of my lecture series, event series, media, part of my media company I'm building, where we talk about, Sambition talks about relationships, manhood, womankind, God, money, emotions, how to make great decisions, anything that's contributing to the human development. And so this is something I've kind of been doing on the underground for a minute, and now I'm taking it to the stage. This is the second one. The first one we had was August the 10th, which was called Why Men Cheat. And and in that series, just like this one, I try to help people get in position. It's like, for example, the Why Men Cheat series, I wasn't there to talk about actually the men cheating. I talked about how they get in that position to cheat and how you can do preventive measures to keep that from happening. At the time, I did some things about women cheating and men cheating, but it was mostly about men cheating. And one of the most important things is, I said, when men cheat, men never make a quick decision. They see a pretty woman walking down the street and say, hey, I think I'm gonna cheat today. That's not normally how that happens. It's over a time, a buildup of different things, and the cheating is just the aftermath of some things that happen. But I wanted to tell you that I do have the DVDs for Why Men Cheat. They're on sale on the table there for $15, and the audio CD is for $5. And you should definitely get that. We had a good time here. I like to be pretty interactive, so I'm not just gonna sit up here and talk to you. We're gonna laugh, I'm maybe point at you. We're gonna learn some things here today. My whole job, as far as this series, this happened to be what I'm dealing with at the moment. Like I said, I'll do different subject matters as we go on. This is the last one. This is the second one and the last one for this year. The first one I'm gonna do for next year is either March 1st or April 1st. Right at the moment, I got March the 1st, but I might move it back a month because it's called Secrets That Every Man Needs to Know About Women. And so I might move it back a month because there's a lot of stuff that men need to know about women, so I might need a little more extra time to get that for them. But tonight, this series is called Secrets That Every Woman Needs to Know About Men. And what I'm here to do is to share some things that's probably not in Cosmopolitan magazine or Ebony magazine, about real stuff to put you in a better position with your man or your loved one or whatever you call him. Don't call him dummy or nothing like that, though. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And I wanted to first tell you a little bit about Sambition. And I brought some cards today. I used cards on the first one, which I normally don't use cards at all, because I can talk off the top of my head, because I've been into this stuff a while, so I have a clear understanding. But these cards help me focus, because there's so many areas that I would like to talk about, but I just picked some very important area that I think that's important that we share today. So, but the thing is, Sambition's mission is to help enrich people's lives one solution at a time. I'm very, very much for every aspect of your life to being the best you can be reaching your destiny, what God called you to do. And part of that is development in every area. I always say, because I'm dealing with relationships at the moment, if you go to work every day, your relationship can be better. If you eat every day, your relationship can be better. It's just what you make a priority. And a lot of us, for some reason, when it comes to relationships, we want to know or we want to do, but we just lazy. And so in certain areas, part of my job is, I feel that part of my call is in that area, is to help us so we can have the best relationships, have the best time of their life. In the future, I'm going to do some sessions with just all women. where I want to give you some real secrets about men. I really don't want the men to hear, because either they're going to get upset or they're going to be happy. I can care less either way. I want you to have the knowledge. And then I'm going to do eventually some sessions just with men. I really want to tell them some stuff about women I don't want y'all to hear, so they can be successful with the person they're with. So about me, I got my comprehensive exam next week. I got to pass to graduate out of graduate school and to get my master's in higher education administration and that. And at the end of the year, at the same time, I'd have a doctorate in divinity from a whole nother college. And I just got blessed where this president made a way for me to do that at the same time, because normally you can't do that. So, but that's just what happened. And so that I work at the University of Toledo also. And I have two sisters. My mother's out there in the vestibule, the lady with the black coat on. She might have took it off now, I don't know. And my father, Samuel Millett, he's not here. He had to go to Georgia to check on my grandmother. And so I got a sister. My sister lives in Georgia. I got one that lives in Virginia. And so that part is about me. Also, I'm working on an album. We almost done with that. I got a lot of stuff for team. We working on some stuff to be able to put that on the road and, you know, take it there. And I'm doing a combination of gospel songs and wedding love songs, because I think love songs, especially wedding songs, need to come from a brother that love God. You know what I'm saying? Barry's gone, Gerald's gone, Luther's gone. So it's time for us, to step in. So I'm very happy and proud of that album at the moment. It's going extremely good. It's just tiring trying to do a bunch of stuff at the same time. Also, I'm writing a column. I write a column for You Change magazine called Sambitions Let's Talk. And also, I'm getting ready for bodybuilding competition next year. I'm really excited about that, but it's killing my body though, but that's another story. Next September, I'm gonna start competing on that level, just something I wanna do because I can, and I believe in exploring different avenues of life. I don't like routine. I like to try different things and try to learn as much as I can. So, and I believe I'm going to be writing an advice column for the Toledo Journal. They approached me about it, so we still talking about it, but if I do, you will know about it. So I just want to make a couple of announcements, then we're going to get down to business because I'm excited about this. First of all, I want to acknowledge that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, you know, anybody's been affected by breast cancer or something, we salute you. You see everybody all over the country wearing pink and stuff, so we just want to admonish the women and men that survive any type of breast cancer, because men are starting to get it quite a bit also, which a lot of people don't know. So we wanted to acknowledge that. Also, on October the 22nd, I'm going to be doing an interview. I don't know if you guys ever heard of TCT. It's a network. It's similar to TBN, ABC, stuff like that. Pastor Larry Mack and I at 10 o'clock in the morning, we're going to be talking about relationships. We're going to be talking about Sambition and stuff I'm doing, and him and I are going to interact. That's going to be live. So it'll be like sitting on the couch. So I never feel pressure in front of people on television. Also, I meant to say that I have done I've done so much stuff I have to sometimes think. I've done numerous commercials. I've been acting on and off probably for the last 10 years. I've been really blessed at that. A lot of doors are open. The last commercial I did was for Quicken Loans national campaign. It was all over the country, all over in different countries also. And so that's been going real good. I've been blessed to really not even have to make an effort to get that. It just comes to me because I think that's one of my lanes in life. And so that's been good. Let me see, I needed one more thing. 20 CDs, okay. All right, I think that's about it. Are you ladies ready? And feel free, if you got to raise your hand. I don't mind being interrupted, and if it's something that, because I want everybody to feel comfortable, like we'd have known each other for a while. This is before you eat, so you better get all this stuff out before you eat. So if you have something you want to, ask or wait to the end, I'm gonna have a Q&A session also. I got a couple of questions already that people gave me that I'm gonna just answer out here, but you free to answer questions. So everybody okay? We good? You good at my back table over there? Y'all good? All right. Well, who got the popcorn? Make sure you ask them, do they want to cut popcorn over there too? Don't eat it all. All right, the first thing I'm going to kind of talk about first is 3 particular things that I mentioned that why men cheat, but I didn't go into detail because I told them I was going into detail on this one particular series. And I'm going to just go down the line. I got some things that's going to be good. First of all, I want you to understand that a man's visual, his visual, is extremely deep. I don't think a lot of women understand how deep it is to a man, his visual. A man's visual is as strong as most women you could compare it to a woman getting married and having children combined. That's how strong a visual is to man. When I say visual, what I mean is a man cannot not look. And when he is looking, he's not looking to go after or necessarily looking to lust. He's looking because it's in our nature to look. Because men our visual is very powerful. At the last one I told them, I remember visuals of females back when I was 6 years old. That was a long, long time ago. 6 years old. So the man's visual is very powerful. And what I want you to understand is, it's even more powerful when it comes to sensual images. And the reason I'm using that exact word, because later on I'm going to show you how all of that connects. So you need to understand that your man's visual is very powerful. The reason I'm telling you that is he not going to say it, but I'm going to say it, is that when you don't look good, and when I say look good, what I mean is got yourself together to be the best you can as often as you can. Nobody does that 365 days of the year. But I'm saying for the most part in front of your man, he remembers all of that. He not going to say nothing to you because he got to sleep next to you because he's your husband. But I'm telling you, it is hot. Let me tell you how deep this is. I'm going to give one of them. I got nuggets on here. I'm going to give you one early. Do you know in a secret code of a man's life, for example, when a man and his woman go somewhere and say it could be church, it could be out to dinner, it could be a party where a group of people are, every man knows that whoever has the best put together woman there is the winner in the room. Am I telling the truth, man? That's a secret code. So when the men bring a woman in the room, every man looking at every woman, and if you the winner, we just gotta look at you like that. And let me tell you something. It don't even matter what woman you have. I mean nationality. She could be Caucasian, she could be African American, she could be Asian, Latino. Whoever has the best woman in that room, he's the winner. Every man in that room knows that. Do y'all get that? Every man in that room knows that. It's a secret code that us man got. So, your man, let me tell you why it's important that you keep his visual entertained. Because men's mental and visual is like a Rolodex. Men take all these pictures, all these images they see especially from women, and whosever image they seen the most that looks good to them, that's the one they're gonna remember most of the time. And these images pop up in men's head like out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. When I say out of nowhere, he could be talking to you and just the image pop up in his head. I mean, it ain't nothing that he doing on purpose. That's just how strong it is. So the reason I'm bringing that up, because the more you look good to him, let me tell you how deep this is. Let me come right. Let me tell y'all how good this is. When you look good, it builds your man's confidence. You know why? Because every man, see, in the world of a man, he's fighting and working every day to be the best he could be at everything. He has to fight against the world. He got to deal with his family. He got to deal with his job. He got to deal with everything. Everything that projects confidence in him or make him feel good, that's the winner. And there's nothing more powerful than the man's woman looking as best she can, because you're the only one that can make him feel like that. He can have 3 or 4 women, I mean fine women, hit on him. Even they could come up to him and say, boy, you look good. You not, oh, man, I appreciate that. But if his woman ain't saying that, it really don't mean nothing. I'm just keeping it real. It really don't mean nothing. And that visual is so powerful, it will motivate him to get you that brand new car and house that you've been wanting all that long time, that you kind of prayed for and didn't tell him about or told him about. Because the visual is that power. That's just how we built. That's how we operate. So I admonish you, just like I admonish men, I tell them the same thing. You want to look good for her because she looking at you and then looking at Bob over there. And Bob, you know, he kind of looking at you, looking at Bob. And so it's the same thing. So visuals are very powerful. And I mean powerful. I don't want you to take them for granted. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't take it for granted. Anytime you don't have it together, I'm talking about in situations where you can, your man keeps a mental Rolodex, a visual Rolodex of that picture. And he's like, honey, how you cool, but believe me, it's killing him. It's killing him. So I just want you to monitor that. I'm going to come back to part of this in a minute because I'm going to connect some of these up together. The number 2, in order to get to a man, you got to go through his ego. You ain't coming no other way. I'm going to tell you that now. You got to go through his ego. Just like with women, you got to go through their emotions to get to their heart. One day I'm going to tell the men how women are defenseless against their emotions, but I don't want to tell them that yet. But men are the same way with their ego. Your ego, a man's ego, if you want to get to your man's heart and get to the essence of him, you have to go through his ego. And let me tell you what, his ego has to come through, you have to come through respect to get to his ego. Because if a man has to choose between respect and love, 80% of them going to choose respect. 80% of them. Do you know why he chooses respect? Do anybody know why he chooses rather have respect than love? Because respect is what a man needs to function, is what hits his ego. His ego is the thing that makes him go out there and face the world every day. And anytime it's, and I'm going to tell you, his woman always had the biggest effect on his ego. Women got power to tear a man down with just a few words. Just like that. He might not ever tell you, he might not ever show you, but that's how much power you have with that man, is to tear his ego down. Because with a man with an ego, let me tell you all the things that affects a man's ego. It affects how he feel about you. It affects how he goes into the world. It even affects how he worships God. It affects how he wants to go make money. It affects how he takes care of you and love you. Because his ego is his essence. Just like your emotions, just like women, your emotions. You want a man that takes care of you emotionally. Because women, if they don't have an emotional connection, all the rest of the stuff really don't mean nothing. Am I telling the truth? It's just like, I don't know if y'all knew this, man, but even a woman making love, if she don't have an emotional connection to you, it's like she not having sex at all. Which, that still blows my mind because I'm a man. But that's how deep the emotion. I want you to equal that to the ego. So the ego it's just like if you tell the man he the greatest you ever had, even if he not, he going to believe he is and keep trying until he get there. Because let me tell you something. The man's ego is so powerful that if you dumped him on Tuesday, he would be trying to find something or somebody to repair it by Tuesday night. That's how fragile and powerful the ego is on a man. And what I mean by that is men will not let their egos be bruised for long because we can't stand it. It's too much pressure. So that means if his woman hurt his feelings or broke up with him or whatever, he would go put himself in some type of position to get instant repair on his ego that quick. That means even if he go back to the girl he never liked but she knows she gives him attention, tell him how cute he is and whatever, he will go sit in her company just to hear that for the ego, just to build his ego, even though he has no interest in her whatsoever. It's just like with women with their emotion. If they men not emotionally satisfied, they'll go have that conversation with Johnny, and Johnny seems to understand them, and Johnny's talking to them, and, oh, Johnny, you understand? Well, see, Johnny don't live with you for one thing, and believe me, if Johnny understanding you, Johnny after something else. He ain't, he willing to walk the trail to get to what he trying to get to. You get what I'm saying? But my point is, you making that emotional connection. That man makes emotional connection with you. It's hard for women to leave him alone. Did y'all men hear that? You make an emotional connection with a man, you make an emotional connection with the woman, it's hard for her to leave you alone. Let me tell you how hard it is for them to leave you alone. You ever seen women that's in bad relationships? And you want to know, like, why she stayed with him? You know why she stayed? I'm going to tell you two reasons. They're as simple as this. He emotionally connected to her deep. And number two, he's created sexual tension. Those are the two most powerful things he's created. He could be a bum. He could say, I'm just throwing this in for free. He could have went and cheated on her, and he come back and, oh, baby. He know what to do. He know how to do that little dance she like Gator in Jungle Fever. Do that little dance and get back in her emotions. Let me give you a prime example of what I'm talking about. Y'all ever seen Boomerang before? At the end of Boomerang, when Eddie Murphy's character, which was Marcus, went to Halle Berry's character, which was Angela. Y'all, now I'm gonna tell you, the scene was like this. Women, y'all so smart too. Y'all so smart. The stuff y'all figure out in a minute, it takes us a year to figure out. And we still didn't get all of it. Going towards the end of the movie, Marcus's character has slept with Robin Givens' character. They was sleeping together for the second time. He got up and told her to stop. He stopped. He said, I think I'm in love with a woman. And she watch this. She said, you in love with Angela, aren't you? See, she already knew it. But she was still with him, but she was waiting on him to figure it out, because that's normally what y'all do, wait for the man to catch up. So he gets up. So she said, watch this. She tried to game him. She said, well, why are you here with me? He said, exactly. And he got up and left. Now, I'm about to connect this, because that's what men do when they're in love, but we're going to get to that later on. When men in love, they make rational moves like get up from a woman they had good sex with, just to go to the woman they're in love with. Because I'm going to answer one of the questions later about how you know when a man in love. I'm going to tell you some things about that. But at the end, now, Angela was gone. He had hurt her feelings and whatever. So he goes to Angela's office. Actually, he sent them two little kids in. Y'all remember that? And she asked him, how did y'all get down here? I'm going to tell you one of the smoothest moving man. Watch this, man. So he goes in there. They said, well, our new teacher brought him, which is Eddie. He comes in there, and now she's mad at him when he comes in. Is that right? A surefire sign when somebody's still emotionally attached to you is when you stir their emotions. Because when they're not attached to you, emotionally, they can't affect you. So she was still in love with him. Watch this, man. This is so beautiful. I almost cried. No. So Eddie said, well, didn't you get my notes, my letters, my phone call? She didn't answer nothing. He was trying to appeal to her logic, because that's what us men, we think logically. And none of that was working. She said, and so she was like, I don't want to see you and what you're doing here and blah, 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 blah. And so she asked him a question. She said, why should I take you back? You know what his answer was? What was his answer in the movie? Y'all remember what his answer in the movie? He ain't have a man. He ain't say nothing, because he knew he was a bum. He knew he cheated and did all right. But let me tell you what, he made one of the greatest moves in the world. He asked her, do you still love me? Because what he figured out is I can't get to her logic, but I can sure get to her emotions. And what did she start doing? Y'all remember what she started doing? She started crying and saying, I'm scared. Just a minute ago, she was like, I don't want you, blah, 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 blah. And just in that instant, because he hooked into her emotions, her whole disposition changed. And then, at the end, he said, he knew he had broke that wall. He went in, made that connection. I love you. They got together all the end of the movie. What I'm saying that for men is that when that's how deep connecting with a woman emotionally. This dude had cheated on her and all of this, but when he did that, she was right back just like that. Why? Because he was so deep in her emotions, she could not come back. That's how deep it is for a woman in her emotions. Women, that's the same thing how a man's ego. He can be tough all he want to. He can be hurt all he want to. You stroke that ego. I ain't saying lie to him. You know, baby, you the greatest man. Yeah, you know, you might not be the greatest man I've ever known. You might be like maybe third. So you make us say you a great man or whatever, and it strokes his ego because the ego plays the part of us, the same thing emotions play a part of you. Don't ever forget that when you talking to your man. Don't ever forget that when you dealing with him. And so the ego is looking for affirmation. That's what the ego is looking for. And let me tell you that. Guess who hold the key to his affirmation? If you know, raise your hand. Who do? What you say? Who do? You do. You do. And it sounds so simple. I want you to understand how powerful that is. You hold the key to his affirmation. You hold the key to making him feel like he can conquer the world. That's some serious power. And let's just say, in the general assumption, we talking about good men. I'm not talking about them bums and nothing like that. We'll do that another day. But we talking about the guys that's generally good. You hold the key to his affirmation. Not his mama, grandmother, daughter, aunts, cousins. His woman holds the affirmation. You know why she holds the affirmation to them? Do y'all know why? Because she the only woman that he's emotionally tied to. See, men, I know y'all heard this, men can go sleep with 10 women, but if he emotionally tied to that one, the other 9 don't mean nothing to him. Because men separate sex and emotions. Women can do that, but it's harder for them to do that because they're emotional. They have to reset their mind to think like a man to do that. But men just do that on natural. I tell women all the time, they like, how can you do that? It's easy. I don't like you. You don't have my heart. You don't have nothing. I mean, you just, for men, sex is just sexy time. Except the woman he in love with, though. That's a whole different, that's why he can't game her. He can't just get up there and say something. You might start seeing him wipe his eye, he tell you something, and he really about to cry because you just said it did something. So I just spent a little extra time on that. I want you to understand how powerful you building your man's ego and supporting him is. You hold the key to that. You only have to pray about that. I'm telling you that now. You don't have to go say, Lord, Jesus help my man. Jesus, you help him. What you going to say to him? Y'all hold that much power. And that's a good thing. So let me move on. I've just been a little tired because these, like I said in the last session, I said I was going to deal with these 3 first. Respect. Respect means more to him than even your love. If your man, for example, I wrote this note to myself. If your man is mad at you and you don't really know why, it's because somewhere you disrespected him. And I know all y'all have been through that. Your man, you ain't did nothing. You don't remember, you trying to think of, women think in nanoseconds, like they go through like a million thoughts in nanoseconds. And you can't figure out why it's because somewhere you disrespected him. And let me see what else. And let me tell you one of the 3 or 4 ways you disrespect, because different levels of disrespect. Disrespecting him in public, which is like a taboo. Men, if you want your man to feel like that, disrespect him in public. Disrespect him in public. Disrespect him in front of his family or especially his boys. You might lose that man over that. I mean, a real man. I ain't talking about them dudes that, well, she just messing around, she cool and stuff like that. No, that ain't cool. That's not cool. So the other is disrespect him in communication, meaning you say stuff to him that hurts his feelings, but you don't know that's hurting his feelings. So he's mad at you because you disrespected him in communication. It's like if you say, Dad, Bob, when you gonna get it? Why don't you go get in the gym? He said, baby, I'm gonna go get in the gym. I'm gonna get it. See, really, you done just blew him away. He ain't going to no gym. Because you ain't say that right. You got to say that a little different. We're going to talk about that a little bit, how you got to say some things. I don't want to be talking about a bunch of stuff that I'm a firm believer in giving theory and then practical application. I want to give you stuff to actually go do. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
How can I say it? How can I tell him I want to go to the gym and build up his muscle without hurting his feelings?
Baby, you starting to look good. I've been looking at you. Why don't you and I go to the gym so we can get good together? And then you got to throw him the image, because men, remember, visual. You tell him what you going to wear when y'all on the beach and how he going to look in his shirt. And, man, you look better than Shamar Moore or whoever. You going to look just as good as him. You start, again, you going back to his ego and give him the dream and then help him get there. That's how you tell a man. Because what you have to do, like, okay, because that question I'm going to skip and then come back. You know why when men are lost, they don't want to ask for directions? The reason they don't want to ask for directions is because men like to conquer, and we're goal-oriented. We like to figure out stuff. So when his woman said, well, why don't you just stop for directions? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, don't it? I'm lost, stop for direction. You know how he takes that? Is you don't trust him and you think he ignorant. That's how the man takes it. You don't trust him to get you home or wherever y'all going out, and you think he ain't smart enough to figure nothing out. That's what that means. It's just, let me flip it over so y'all can get understanding. It's just like a man telling you, your name is Michelle. He said, Michelle, man, I wish you get that dress Brenda got, because she sure look good in it. That's how you got that. She looked good in that dress. Lord Jesus, and he's saying it a little too much. That's the same thing like trying to tell a man about direction. When he lost, just suck it up. Suck it up, because you with your man. Just suck it up. He'll get you where he need to get to. You might be a little late, but even if in that situation, you say, baby, I ain't worried. He said, man, I got to find out. You tell him, I ain't worried about nothing. I'm just with you. Man, that dude could find out where gold buried in the ground, where oil at. He'll find some things. You tell him like that. So the respect factor is huge. Also, respect and judgment, which I kind of just spoke about, his judgment. When you don't respect his judgment, he takes it as though you think he an idiot. Y'all ever seen y'all said something y'all man made total sense, and he just, well, I didn't mean it like that. Why'd you take it like that? Because to him it was a sign of disrespect, like he couldn't figure it out, and he couldn't accomplish it, he couldn't get you where y'all needed to go. Because men take great pride in providing, leading, and guiding his family or his wife, his woman. He takes great pride in that. So anything that comes against that, he automatically is going to get an attitude, or he's going to retaliate. Or he ain't going to say nothing. And you know something wrong when he ain't saying nothing. And so the last thing about the respect factor is when you disrespect his skills. For an example, if you have a leak in your house, he said, I got this. I will fix the leak. Don't tell him, could we please call the plumber? Could we please? You know how he takes that? You don't trust him, and you think he ain't smart enough to figure it out. Can I give you an equivalent? Here's equivalent with women. I'm going to use the same Brenda. Brenda sure look good. You know she go to the gym every day. You should go with her. Y'all can help each other out. Now, would you be a little offended if he said that? That's the equal to. So disrespect is a huge factor for a man. I want you to understand that. Respect is a huge factor. Ego, visual, and respect. Those are the three most powerful things that's associated with your man. If you master those three things, you will never lose him to anybody, anytime, anywhere. I guarantee you that. For those of you that's trying to remember in your head, ego, visual, and respect. If you master those three, you won't have to pray as much. You master those three, you won't have to worry about some other woman trying to slide on in. Because believe me, whatever one woman won't do, y'all know the rest. That's right. Believe that. And it's definitely attached to that ego. All right? Everybody cool? Everybody good? We good? We having fun here? They like, oh, see, he made that Brenda thing now. I ain't cool with him, though. I'm just giving examples. All right, number 4, sex. Let me tell you what sex does to a man, because I don't think y'all think all dudes just want to do it, and it just like, Lord, no. Sex is from God. Y'all understand that, right? So it has a huge purpose, especially in a man. The first thing, not necessarily in this order, but the first thing that sex gives a man is great confidence. Y'all love men with confidence, don't you? Yeah. Love men. You want to give your man a lot of confidence? You give him a lot of sex. Matter of fact, for the people that love Jesus in the Bible, do you know, I think it's in Corinthians, the 7th chapter, he talks about, I'm just throwing this in for free, that when you fast, for instance, he said, when you go into prayer and fasting, don't do it too long so you can immediately come back together with your wife or husband, because it opens the door up for the devil to come in. I'm just telling you what the book said, right? That's how powerful it is for a man. So let me tell you all the things it does for him. It builds his confidence. He feels loved. It sparks him to conquer the world. Oh, let me go back to what I said earlier. He only gets this from the woman he in love with. He can't get this from no other woman. Y'all understand that? Ladies, y'all understand that? Y'all understand that? Y'all understand how deep that is? That means he goes, no, I ain't saying he should, but I'm just giving you that. He goes sleep with 100 women. The only one that means anything to him is the one he emotionally tied to, he in love with. She the only one that brings this stuff out of him. Y'all men, anytime y'all want to say that's right or something, y'all, or just put that little finger up, y'all want them to see, just go like that, or put it on camera just like that, so Dave just put it right there. So the other thing that sex does is unlock his emotions. Y'all have emotionless men, right? Y'all be complaining, you don't show your emotions. I don't know how you feel. You ain't giving him enough sex. Did I say that plain enough, Jackie? Did I say that plain enough? Did I say that? Your man, the key to opening up your man's emotion is giving him sex. Because of the way it makes him feel. And I'm not talking about just physical. I'm naming some of the things I'm naming right here. This is what all this is connected to. So a man is not just walking around like, I can't help it, I gotta have it, because like he gotta go to the bathroom or something. He actually needs this as part of his destiny, his journey, his existence, his life. It affects everything he does. Is that correct, man? You want to say, is that correct, Matthew? Is that good? It affects every essence about him. And the reason he trying to get it from you, why he trying to get it from you? That's right. Because you're the only one he want it from. And when you tell him no, guess who will tell him yes? And you know what? And let me tell you how the system's set up. The system is set up that even if she tell him yes, he can go do it. It still don't mean that he still got to come back over here. Because this is where his love is. This is where his emotion, this is where his heart at. So when his heart not doing him right, it's just like punching him in the face every day. And believe me, men, we don't like to be punched in the face because our ego is too strong. We will not let our ego go bruised for long periods of time. We gonna make a, like they said in the streets, bust a move. We gonna bust a move. Even if we in love with you, we gonna bust a move, because what? Our what is greater than love? Ego and respect. If you don't, a man will leave you over over not respecting him. You can say I'm a good woman, which I'm going to address that too, like men good, make sure we got all them definitions right of what good is. I want to explain that. The other thing that sex does, it goes deep in his heart. Watch this. I'm about to say something that maybe sound a little off the chain, but this is so true. I put my blackness on it. Yeah, I am black. African American for you college people. If a man knows how to tap into a woman mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically at the same time, he will literally become God in the flesh. Let me tell you how good that is. He will be your hero of all heroes. That should be the goal that men are trying to reach. The reason I'm saying that because that should be the same goal that you're trying to reach. You want to tap into your man on those 4 levels. The woman that can do that, you will never have to worry about him for the rest of your life, literally. Oh yeah, you will get that new car. That house or that meal or whatever you're trying to get, that vacation, whatever you want, you will get that. See, a lot of this stuff, and I seem to be talking more on a spiritual basis, which is okay because this is the form, it's just this flowing like this tonight. A lot of things that we control, the reason we don't do it right because we just don't know. So once you get the information, now you're responsible for it. Sex is that deep to a man. I'm not talking about gigolo. I'm not talking about the gigolo. I'm not talking about thug life. I'm not talking about the man that's not trying to do nothing. I'm talking about the good men that want to love their wife, want to love their family, and handle his business. Don't ever look at him as like he coming in sex as though it's just something, because why you want sex all the time? Because he needs it. We eat every day, don't we? We breathe. And he need it right, which I'm going to get into that, tell y'all how to get to that. Because this is the same stuff in the next series I'm going to tell men about women. I know a whole bunch of stuff about women that y'all need. Matter of fact, y'all probably going to run up and hug and kiss me and push me on the ground and like they do when they win like Super Bowls and stuff, because I'm going to interpret what you've been trying to get him to understand the whole time. Because men think that figuring out a woman is insurmountable, but it's not. All it takes is the same thing that you do going to work every day, eating every day, washing your tail every day. It's just one day at a time, doing little things, doing this, doing that, doing that. It's just like breathing. So that's all it is, doing it every day. And knowing what to do is the key. So if, for example, tell the men, if your woman like her elbows rubbed, you become the greatest elbow rubber that ever lived. You rub her elbows like something got a hold of you and you don't know what to do. And she'll love you for life just on the elbows. And men can do that on purpose, just like you can do that on purpose. If you know your man say for example, I used this example last time because my niece was in here running around and she's 14. I didn't want to use terms I don't need to be saying in front of 14 years old. So, if you know your man like chocolate ice cream, that's the example I use. That's the easy example. Chocolate ice cream makes him happy all the time, right? Y'all get that? Chocolate ice cream. So that means, in any situation, if you give him chocolate ice cream, it's going to bring some type of happiness to him, even in his worst time. You get that? So if you know how to create that emotion that ice cream creates, you can literally make him happy all the time. Do you get that? Do that sound simple to you? It just take one day at a time, a little work. Cause I'm gonna talk about sports in a minute, because I'm gonna give y'all the all and end all. If you understand sports, you understand your man for the rest of his life. So, anybody have any questions about the number 4, about the sex part? We good on that? It's very important to a man, just not for physical reasons, but for all those reasons: his confidence, his heart, his emotion, his love, his understanding. And you got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. When I'm saying give it to him, give you with that to him. You get that? Because we know when you just kind of faking, you know. Most time, a lot of them don't care, but that's still not enough. Okay? All right, we doing good all the time? I'm having a ball myself. Number 5. This is a little different than the first one because I'm just doing more like direct talk. Number 5. Men need a woman that motivates him. When I say motivate him, I mean just your sheer presence in the room motivate him to go beyond himself. I'm not talking about motivate. Come on, honey. Come on. You got to work out and get in shape. No, and you not working out. Not that type of motivation. I'm talking about the motivation that because of the value that you have, because of the way you think, the way you act, the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you do stuff, everything, even the way you rub your lotion on your arm, everything motivates him to step his game up. Now let me tell you the difference between two types of men. The insecure man and the secure man. The insecure man, just say, I'm using a lot of gym things because I go to the gym, so I use a lot of gym. Say you with your mate. The woman decides to go to the gym. Her husband don't like that because there's going to be other guys looking at her because she in shape and she looking good, got on her tight. She comes home. She starts talking different and acting different because her confidence is building. He don't like that if he insecure because he'd say, well, because he'd rather have her in a space where she don't feel good about herself or she's like this. You know why he really, it's not that he just insecure. You know why he like that? Because he lazy. You understand he lazy? He lazy because he don't want to be better. He feels the tension of needing to be better because you're getting better. And a lot of men lazy. But let me tell you something. Lady, because this is a secret you need to know about a man. If you doing that, just for example, using that example, keep on going to the gym. Keep on getting. Make him have to respond to what you're doing so he'll step his game up. Because he going to come at you, well, why are you doing that? You trying to shine, blah, 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 blah. He going to be trying to hit your emotions, how you feel about him, all that kind of stuff. The reason I know this, I know a couple of friends of mine that's in this situation. They tell that, hey, my husband don't want me to go to the gym and stuff because he's starting to, you need to go twice a day. Make him have to get up and respond. To motivate him. Men need a woman that will motivate him to step his game up in all levels. Whether that means with his money, that means with a relationship, that means a relationship with God, that means a relationship with you, a relationship with the kids, relationship with the house, whatever he need to do, he needs a woman to just on her sheer presence motivate him to step his game up. All you have to do to make that happen is be the best you can be at all times. Be the best you can be at all times. Be the best you can be at all times. I'm going to say it one more time. Be the best you can be at all times. And don't let no man tell you not to. None. None. When I say none, I mean none, including your dad, your uncle, your parents. None. Live your life all the way to the fullest potential because you ultimately are the one that's responsible for it. And if the man, and it's the same thing for the men with the women. You want your woman to follow, you want her to be on her, you need to live your life to the fullest. So if you want her to follow you or be your partner on the side of you or whatever, she's going to follow your lead. And if you challenging her, most women will step up to the challenge. They don't want their men to get too far ahead of them. They're going to step up to the challenge. You want her to want to do that. And let me tell you, if it's in her to do it, she's going to do it. If it's not in her to do it, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem. And vice versa. If he don't step up, you're going to have a problem. I'm just keeping it real. You're going to have a problem. Because sometimes people come into relationships and they at this level. One starts to grow and this like that. I'm going to give you the example with this and then I'm going to move on to the next one. Y'all watch Good Times sometimes, right? I watch it periodically. They had an episode where Florida was starting to go to school. And James got mad knowing the show he only had a 6th grade education. And he got upset. Y'all know why he got upset? Because she was starting to step out in grounds that he wasn't familiar with. And men, we're very insecure most of the time. Well, I'm not, but most men are insecure most of the time. And even little stuff like that bothers men. Because why? Because she might leave me. Why is that a concern to his? Because that might be my heart walking out the door, and I can't stand that because it'll kill me, it'll bruise my ego, I'll lose my confidence, I'll lose my motivation, I'll lose everything, because that's my heart. But see, that's why I'm telling you, do what you need to do as women, because if you step up, he got to respond and step up, because you don't want a man that won't. Because what is he going to really do for you? It's the same thing with men with a woman. Don't no man want no woman that ain't going to step up. Because what is she going to do for him? What is he going to do for her? Am I right, men? Am I right, ladies? That's right. Thank you. So, men love women that motivate him to go to the next level. It ain't no trick to it. It's just being who you are. Your value as a woman should make him want to do that. If you ain't doing it, don't expect him to do it. Unless you have a man that's just like that. Like, for example, I'm pretty self-motivated. It don't take people to motivate me. I'm pretty on autopilot 99% of the time. I'm on autopilot because that's just the way I'm built. If you have a man that's not built like that, then you might have to be the example and not look down on him, but put yourself in position with him till he'll get up and step to the next level. You get that? All right. Here's number 6. We moving. Everybody good? I mean, y'all learning something? You better be taking notes, or you can buy the DVD and CD. A man is always concerned about these 4 things all of his life: his transportation, his cash flow, his housing, and his clothing, the way he look. All the time. Y'all gonna have to, you could be Bill Gates. Bill Gates is still concerned. He ain't concerned about money, but he concerned about the way he look. He ain't concerned about his house because he got like a 64,000 square foot house. So he ain't worried about that. He worried about his woman. He worried about, men think about those 4 things all of their life. So sometimes when you're not getting a response out of him because you trying to either talk to him and figure out something, think of those 4 things and say, like, which one is he in? Because it's always either we working on 4 of them, 3 of them, 2 of them, or 1 of them. Always working on them. No matter Donald Trump working on them. And once you got it, you working to keep it because you don't want to lose it. Y'all get that? Is that true, men?
Yes, it is.
That's true. Men, because men's natural instinct is to provide, to have, to protect. And those 4 things are connected to that all the time. So sometimes if he's not paying you attention, ain't because he ain't trying to, it's because one of these or all 4 of these or 3 of these is not where it needs to be. But see, if you step your game up, even when he's thinking about those, if you know what to do with your man, which I'm going to talk about a little bit in a minute, you can still rise him above that. Because that's something that we're concerned about all the time. And sometimes if that's not right, just like if a man's cash flow is not right, it bothers him. It bothers him. I'm going to tell you that. It bothers him. So when you try to say, honey, why don't you hold my hand? And that dude thinking about, dag, man, I ain't got no money. And it don't have nothing to do with you. It has for his need to provide, his need to protect, his need to have. You got that? Everybody got that? All right. Men, this is good. Number 7. Men love and romance. Men like to be romanced. They don't really tell you that because they don't really know how to say that. Because in society, men ain't been taught to tell you, well, baby, I wish you would romance me. He kind of go through the sex channel. But sometimes he just want romance and he wants you to love him or show him some love, attention and affection. Sometimes he want that. Let me give y'all a bone. Let me tell you what a man really loves. This work anywhere. This work at home. This work at the library. Work at church. I'm talking about the married folk. I'll tell you what. And God endorses this when you're married. When you know how to seduce your man. Men love that. Am I right? Yeah. Am I right, Dave? Am I right back? Men love that. And I'm going to tell you why they love it in a minute. Men love when their woman seduces them. Because part of it is it makes them feel wanted. It's just good to look at. Because to a man, she went through all of that to seduce. I ain't talking about, dress. I ain't talking about the dressing up thing. I'm talking about when you seducing him and little stuff. Like texting him certain messages or giving him envelopes or showing up at the job and just look at it and lick your lips and then leave. I mean, stuff like this, messing with his head. Y'all know how to mess with the man's head. I'm just giving some examples. That's all I'm doing. I don't know what to do. I'm just giving some examples. You're talking about your husband now, so it ain't you don't have no restraints, but that's a whole nother thing. Men love being seduced, just like women love being seduced. Women, you had to seduce them for like a week, 10 days in advance. That's when it's real good to them. You slow it down on them, man. You slow it way down. You might start in January and hit pay dirt in March if you're doing it right. And from March on to August, you ain't got to worry about nothing. And then when wearing out, you start it all over. Actually, as a man, you should be trying to seduce your wife all the time. Now, and I ain't talking about in a sexual nature. In her mind, her spirit, her being. You should always be trying to entice your wife, showing her the attention. But I'm going to talk about that in the all-male session. I'm going to show them exactly how to do that and how to figure out how to do your particular one. Because every woman is different, just like every man. All right? So men love to do that. It beats do. Number 8, temptation. If you become your man's weakness, you will capture him for life. If you become his temptation, all of us are tempted by something, correct? All of us, in some form or fashion. If you become his temptation, his weakness, you will have him locked for the rest of your life. What I mean by that, in the last one, I just use the example. If your man is tempted by women in high-heel shoes, you should have 4,000 pairs of high-heel shoes right in your closet right there. 4,000. 4,000. That means if your man love is tempted and that's his weakness, he can't help it, it makes him feel good and he wants you and it's just because of some high-heel shoes, do you not know that you could do that to him every day? You see how easy that is? If you know what it is. Because I'm going to talk about certain things. It's just like I tell men, if you run into a woman and you know she like ambitious men, in order for her to be attracted to you, what you have to be? Ambitious. Is that too easy? I mean, is it just easy to me? Is it easy to everybody? Is that easy? So that means I would, what? Be ambitious. Now, I got to really be ambitious because I can only act that for a certain length of time. I got to really be, because only Denzel and Will and Morgan Freeman and Russell Crowe and them, they can do it for a long period of time. That's why they make all the money. So you become your man's weakness. You become his temptation. And remember, whatever his temptation is, it's even in a sensual matter, whatever images you create for your husband, the one that creates the most images, those are the ones he's going to remember the longest. Those are the ones he's going to remember all the time. Those are going to be the ones that just jumps up in his head at certain times of the day, because that visual is powerful. So don't forget that. Number 9, you have to know how to create thrills in him. Thrills, not drills. You got to know how to create thrills in your man. Any woman that can create a thrill in her man, that's always keeping him off guard, doing something, because men love variety, just like women really love variety. Love variety. I'm going to really dig into that when we get to the next session about, I got y'all covered on that. Men love thrills, the good ones and the naughty ones. He loved thrills. Right, men? Yes. Right, Dave? He loved thrills. So whatever it is, see now, I've said what he needs and this, but let me tell you how you get to this information right quick before I get to number 10. You got to study your man. Do you know, I said in the last session, you should have a file on your man. You should know everything about him, because the more you know about him, the more you will know what to do with that information. Do you know information outside is the second most powerful thing to have outside of time? Information. A lot of times when we're not doing something, when something that's not going our way, I don't care if it's relationships or money, it's because we didn't have the information. And then once we have it, we have to do something with it. So you have to do something. You should know what your man like, what he don't like, where he's in the middle, what he's trying to do. Y'all should be keeping a secret file on him. Put it on a flash drive and hide it under the mattress, and put like a pink bunny next to it, because he ain't gonna bother the pink bunny. Put it right there. Every time your man do it. So I told him in the first meeting, I used to do this to my exes. Keep files on them. That's why they exes now. That file data didn't add up. You know what I'm saying? I do every time we go. I still got the books, because I go through to see where I was then versus where I'm at now. I go, okay, like say for example, I'm gonna use this example. Say she was really coming on to me that day. She was like all had her hands all on, just want to be touchy-feely. See, most men, they just jump in the moment. Oh, hey baby, kids. Not me. I do a little of that, but I go home. Let me write down. Okay. I start having conversations like, baby, well, how'd your day go today? Well, I went to work. It was cool. I got, my family took me on today and stuff. I'm getting all this data for her because something happened to her that got her from here to here, that she felt like that. Now, I know at this particular time in my life, she went through what is called a sequence of emotions. Because women go through when a woman gets to that where she want to be touchy-feely with her man, something happened in her emotions that got her there. It might not have nothing to do with him at all. He was just the recipient of it. It could have been she got mad at work. She could have seen how bad a dude was treating her friend or whatever. But what the most important thing is that when she got there, instead of just taking advantage of the moment, the man should be getting the information so he can create them moments anytime he want to. Because once I figure out your emotional sequence, I can literally make you feel how I need you to feel on any given day. And of course, if I love you, I'm gonna want you to be happy, right? Is that right? So the data on a man is the same. You should know everything about your man. You should know if he don't even feel good about his haircut. Let me see, he was grouchy today. Last week when he didn't have his haircut, he was grouchy and stuff. And you said, baby, you know what? Usually, you had your hair looking so fine, and blah, 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 blah. He go get that haircut and he in a good mood. I mean, the littlest thing, you should be keeping data on. Don't tell him I told you this. Keep a data so when you put it out on, you look like a superstar. How'd you know that, baby? Oh, I'm just paying attention. Because one of the things that secrets that men love is a woman that's paying attention to him, that's in tune with him, And in order to be in tune with anybody, you got to be studying them. You got to know about it. For anybody that's been to high school, junior high, elementary, or college, you got to study to get to the next grade, right? You got to write them papers. You got to be able to add 2 plus 3 is 6, which is 5, see? You got to know that stuff. You got to say, it's no different from a relationship. It's no different. Matter of fact, you have more fun doing a relationship. You know how much fun I got collecting them notes and stuff? I got a couple of notes now on a couple of friends of mine, just in case. Just in case. You might as well build a foundation now. Just in case. Just notes. You need to do that, so that's very important. The other thing is, you have to, number 10, you have to find your man's taboo factor. What I mean by that, the taboo factor, let me make sure, because I did a few notes. Everybody's had their moments in life where they know, I'm not supposed to be doing that, but why did you do it? Why did y'all do it? Why was you with that dude your parents ain't really like? Because what? And what did that create in you? Yeah, tension, thrill. Like that kind of almost that little dingy, that's kind of little dirty, dingy. Yeah, like sneaking. And we love that stuff that's kind of edgy. You know, we kind of edgy, right? We like that edgy stuff, right? That stuff that make women tingle inside when they get that spark for a man. I'm going to break that spark down one day, boy. That spark is deep that women get. Y'all need the men. Y'all really need to know about that spark. So you got to create this taboo factor. How do you do that? You got to know some things about his past. You need to know what type of women he went. And then when he giving you all these past, don't do it and get mad at him. If he say, and all observation. You got to do it real smooth too. You can't like say, okay, 2 years ago, who were you with? The year after that, who were you with? You can't do it like that. You got to like, baby, you know what? When is the happiest you ever been before you met me? He said, well, and if he feels safe enough to tell you without you flipping out, he going to give you some valuable information you need to know. Same for men. Because, man, we don't like our women talking about other dudes. Why? Because ego thing, man. We don't really like that. It just, But it's powerful to know that information. So, say, for example, if he used to date, he used to be with a woman that was a Christian, but she liked to wear French maid outfits all the time. I like that. I like that. I like that. Why is he doing that? One is good, one is a little bit naughty. He liked that combination. What if you was the woman that was doing that and he called you wife? And you created that taboo factor in you? Every time he looks for the thrill, guess who he going to? The person. It's the same way with men doing that with women, but that's another thing. You have to know how to create that taboo factor there because let me tell you what it does. It gives the needed excitement and variety. Now, that's variety, right? Christian woman, French maid. So you don't hear that too often on no type of stage, and definitely you don't hear it on TV or nothing like that. Christian woman, French maid. It gives him the excitement and the variety, and he'll never be starving for sex. Because that's why you're going to combine all of that. Blow his mind. When I say blow his mind, car, house, vacation, shopping. Glad that, baby, here's the whole check. Just because you made him feel like that. You didn't manipulate him. This is what you want to do because this is a person you love. All right? Everybody got that? All right, let me move on. Okay, let me get the number because this is going to take a minute. Y'all all right? Do I need to stop now? You tired? You cool? We cool at the back table? All right, let me tell you a secret weapon, all definitely women. You need to understand, I call it sports is the secret weapon. I'm going to actually hold my card up for this one so I can read these all off at the same time. If you understand what sports does to a man, you will lock him down for the rest of your life and even after you're gone, if he survives you. Let me tell you what that premise is based off of. Most men love sports from the time they're little boys to the time that they die. How could one entity keep the attention of a man that long? You ever thought about that? Why does your man rather watch sports sometimes than be bothered with you? Especially on Sunday. Maybe he'll give up Thursday night football, but especially on Sunday. Let me give you some reasons. Can I give you some reasons? Because these are some of the reasons that you want your man. This is what sports offers. Variety. Football or basketball, always running different plays. You got different running backs, linemen, pass. In football, you either going to pass or run. In basketball, you either going to pass, dribble, or shoot. Mystery, because you don't know what plays they calling. You don't know what them coaches calling on field. You don't know it until they actually run it. Basketball, you don't know LeBron going to shoot on the last 5 seconds. You know Kobe getting the ball. We do know that. Kobe getting the ball. But we don't know we don't know where Kobe going to shoot it from. Is that mystery. Different positions. They laughing over here. Different positions. And I'm not just talking about, I wasn't, but I'm just, not just different sexual positions, different positions and how you deal with his mentality. See, a different position is, I used to didn't stroke his ego, but now I do. Different position is, Dag, I didn't understand why he thought like that, but now I do. Different position is, man, I didn't really appreciate him, but I do. Because there ain't a lot of women got a man as good as the one I got. There ain't no woman like the one I got. 4 tops. Competition. One team against the other. Shoot, men understand competition. We competing every day. Especially in this country. You're competing a man competing every day. Everything. He competing to keep his woman, where his kids love him, where he can keep his job, get some money, whatever he competing. Goals. You get to a goal line. I got a touchdown. That's how he, deal with you. Get goal touchdown. This is what part to get the tension. You ever see, y'all ever watch y'all do, y'all watch it. Don't watch the game. Watch him watching the game. He be like, oh, man. And look, he has no financial vested interest in the game. And he acting like that. They ain't gave him no jersey. They ain't invite him to the suites. They ain't even tell him, that we don't even know you like the Eagles. But he doing all of that. Emotional. Sports create emotions in men. How could a child sport create emotions in men? The thrill of the chase. I'm handing you but you hand somebody the ball, they trying to kill you. It takes out that aggression. It's stimulating. Are y'all recognizing some of these words and different areas of y'all relationships is kind of attached to? This is what sports is creating in a man at all time. So the reason I said those, because if you understand that, then you can create those same things on purpose. If you understand sports, you could quit your job tomorrow. Just go on a world speaking tour to women. You understand sports, what sports does to a man? Just the stuff I just named to you? Now, man, am I telling the truth?
Yes, you are.
Am I telling the truth, TJ? Sports creates those things in us. And let me tell y'all something. I'm just keeping it real today. The woman that can't create at least half of those, he ain't gonna be with her long. I'm gonna tell you that. And if he is, it's only because he ain't found nobody better yet. They can, because what? What you won't do, that's exactly right. Was that right, Sister Lewis? All right, this is number 11, and then I'm going to get into some nuggets, and I just want to give a couple of secrets about women. I'm just giving a small snapshot of secrets secrets that men need to know about women. But I want to give y'all a couple of number 11 first. Men hate whining, nagging, complaining women. Not dislike. I use the word hate. When a man is out fighting the world all day like a superhero, and he got to come deal with his woman, the example I used 2 months ago, if a man had to choose between a burning house, the house is actually on fire, come home to a whining, nagging, complaining woman, he might not actually run in the house, but he sure gonna think about it for a little bit. Let me see, burning, because he'll be thinking about, okay, if I get burned a little bit, I go to the hospital, my insurance will cover my leg getting burned and stuff like that. He think about all that because he don't want to deal with that. Y'all get that? Whining, nagging, and complaining is the worst thing you can do. No man is going to stay with you when you do, period. No maybes in that. No, it could. Whining, nagging, and complaining, he is not going to stay with you. Can I say that? Amen. Whining, nagging, and complaining, one more time. He is not going to stay with you. And if he does, it's because he got some side hobby going on. Because there's always a woman that ain't doing what? Whining, nagging, and complaining. Y'all get that? I'm overemphasizing something. I want you to understand this. I want to keep it real basic. If you whine, nag, and complain a lot, just stay single until you get help. Don't even waste your time. You wasting time on mine. Don't even do it. All right, I'm almost done. Let me give y'all a couple of nuggets here. I already named one of them about the men, whoever has the best looking put together woman in the room. All the other men acknowledge him as you the winner. I don't care what the man could look like a beast. Am I telling the truth, man? He could be ugly as sin. But if he got the coldest woman in the room, that's my street word, the coldest woman, well put together, he the winner. And every man will acknowledge that. Now you will have every once in a while, a man, mostly brothers do this, would challenge a man if he think that man don't have no lockdown on her just because he look like a beast. But for the most part, every man acknowledge he the winner. So I want y'all to know that. Y'all actually in competition. See, he ain't telling that. That's just, men, we don't talk about that. Do we talk about that? We just know that. It's just instinct. I just know that. So if you going to the championships, you better get the best one out because I want to win this. I mean, you got to have it together. We try to win this. All right. This one is for men, just a nugget. Man, I want you to do this. I want you to really get this. It's real simple. Always be dependable to your woman, but never predictable. Don't ever be predictable. Don't ever get in a routine where she can figure you out. But always be there for her, though. You get that? Y'all get that? Everybody get that? Be dependable. Don't ever be predictable. Women like to figure out stuff. They like a man that can throw them off their game mentally because it's all challenging to them because they run more game amongst each other than they ever with a man, so they used to beat men all the time. The women are the only real challenges. If she get a man that can challenge her mentally, oh, she all in just for that alone. Oh, wait a minute. This brother ain't paying me no attention, and I know I'm fine. Oh, no. Especially if you got a woman that she beautiful and she used to getting compliments from men acting a certain way, and then you totally ignore her. Do you know that drive women crazy? Did y'all know that? Drive them crazy. Especially the more finer she thinks she is or beautiful or got her whole act together, the more of an ego trip she on with it. All it is their vanity in place, their vanity in operation. And vanity not a bad word, that's just vanity in operation. Women don't like to be ignored, especially when they know they got it going on. And if you the dude to ignore her, especially if you look like a hoblet, and you ignore, if you a beast and you walk by a pretty woman and don't even look at her, do you know she'll kind of chase you down because she want to know what about you and you ain't doing what the rest of the men doing. I'm gonna leave that alone because if I tell y'all way in deeper than that, they won't be able to. Is that right, women? Y'all can tell me if I'm lying. I can handle it. Am I telling the truth? Y'all don't like no man when y'all know y'all got it going on. The man ain't acting the way he should act. Y'all get a little, wait a minute, why ain't he, I know. If you ain't even admitting it, I know. That's why I'm standing by the chair up here because I know. I just know that. Number 3. This for the ladies. When a man, let me see how I wrote this. Oh. The woman that a man gives time to, gives his love to, and even his money, I'm talking about all at the same time, that's the woman he's into. Because he can help a woman. He can hang out with his friends. But the one that he do unusual stuff from, that's the woman he in love with. That's the one he's with. That's the one all of this is with. This is with. Men only give real time to the women they want to be with. We'll fake the funk with the ones we just want to hang out or she does something to my ego that day. I can stand her for a couple of hours. But after that couple of hours, you got to go. And that's only because I can't get to the one that I really, So if you the woman he in love with, you the only one that means anything to him. Don't let nobody ever tell you no different. Even when a man cheats, he could cheat in his heart and not totally be in the other woman. he loving this woman. Wherever his heart at, that's the woman he loving. But if you the woman that he loves and you burn his respect, his ego, and don't take care of that visual, he'll fade you out eventually. Because remember, those 3 areas are serious to a man. Y'all got that? All right, let me just run these secrets down, and then I got a couple of questions that they want me to answer. I'm going to do it then. We do Q&A. Y'all can answer me whatever. Let me see. Okay, I'm good. All right, man, are y'all listening? This is good. Thank you. If a woman is not emotionally or mentally into you, when she has sex with you, to her, she's not having sex at all. Is that true, women? Don't that sound ridiculous from a man's point of view? Wait a minute, how could you be having sex with, but you ain't having sex at all? Because you have to go through their emotions, go through their mind, lock them here, and here, for her to feel the connection. They need the connection. So that means, let me tell you, can I talk to the men? There's only a few of us in here. Let me tell you why I'm saying that. It's a lot of women out here that either with or will be with a man that ain't doing nothing for them. But to the man, it looked like she is. Because he don't understand the connect between emotions, her mental capacity in relation to sex. All he understands is sex. So if his wife is giving him sex or giving him attention, giving him affection, to him, everything is okay. Y'all ever seen them shows where they send these couples out on dates? I know that Patty, what's her name on Millionaire Matchmaker, she sent these couples out with the women out with the millionaires or vice versa, the millionaire women with the men. And the man come back. She said, how was the date? Oh, it was great. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 9. When the woman that went on the same date, she said, that's the worst date of my life. What happened? You know what happened. He didn't connect with her on no levels. Men, understand when women tell you stuff like this, honey, I went to the store and bought a new pair of shoes today. Honey, I'm going out of town. Honey, I cooked this dinner over here. Honey, my sister is doing this. Honey, this is this. You know what they doing? They trying to connect with you. That's how they connect. We don't connect as men. We bond. We get together and we hang out. Hey, what's up? Sport, yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, there's things that's going on. Men say 5 words and then had a whole conversation. We understand what we're talking about. But see, they don't work like that. And remember I said this, I'm throwing this in there. When women communicate, they're always starting off at level 2. 2 to infinity. Men, we 1A, 1B. We rarely make it to 2. When we say something, we say what we mean. When a woman says something, it ain't really what she means, it's what she trying to get you to understand. For example, if a man says, honey, you look nice in that red dress, that's all he means. That's all he means. But if she asks you, honey, do I look nice in this red dress? And you say, now watch, she asked you first. You said, honey, you look nice in that red dress. You know what she actually heard you say? Oh, I didn't look nice before? I don't look nice in no other color dress? Oh, I'm too fat? Oh, you don't like my family? Oh, I'm too short? You didn't want to marry me? She hear all of that from that one step. I'm telling the truth, women. You can tell me if I'm lying. I'm grown. I can take it. Women hear different. We had to learn how to communicate on their level. I'm pretty good at it now. It took me a minute to understand that. So I know when females are saying or doing certain stuff, this is what they're really trying to tell me. Men, you better learn them levels of communication. We're going to talk about that one day. I do that in the men's private session. Because if you figure out how to communicate on your woman's level with her, you done gain 65% of the game. Mix that in with understanding her emotionally and psychologically, you'd have mastered her. And then you know what she's going to do, step the game up so you have to go back and do some more homework. So women communicate on a whole nother level. The next thing is, for a woman to be drawn totally into you as a man, she has to know that she can only get what you got from you. Do I need to say that over? Y'all want to hear that? I'm going to say this again. I see you thinking about that. For a woman to be extremely drawn to a man, this is really connected to the spark, is what I'm talking about. She has to know, feel, and think that she can only get what she wants, and you're the only one she can get it from. You got it? It's the truth. It's just like when women have the spark for men. I'm just throw that in there, boy. The men, you better learn this spark. When a woman has a spark for a guy, the reason that spark is so strong, that thing, all y'all know what the spark is? Y'all know what the spark is? I got mature. They know what the spark is. The spark is, man, just for y'all that don't know, if you know. The spark is that thing that woman has for that one dude. That man does stuff for her, to her, that has a lot to do with here and in here. And sometimes he's doing it on purpose. Sometimes it's just the way he is. It's that guy that he could go get married. I always use this example. He could go get married and have 3 kids, be married for 10 years, get divorced on Tuesday, she'll marry him on Friday. That guy. That guy. You know why she like that with that guy? Because what she trying to get, she believes and knows she can only get it from him. And sometimes people run into that man or that woman, and they just fly by their life because they didn't know all the other stuff that comes with that. So, number 3, this is real easy when everybody know that women love confident men. Love confidence in a man. You want me to say that again to them, women? Love confident men. Women don't like routine. Women like for you to create, let me see what I wrote down. Create spice, variety, suspense, mystery, and excitement. I even had to flip over the card. Okay. Excitement, suspense, mystery, variety. All women like that. Okay, number 5, and then we're almost done. Men, let a woman choose you. Let her choose you. Women super smart. If she choose you, you won half of the battle already. Because once they make up their mind, they want to be with you, they want to be with you. I'm going to skip that because I said that already. Women want these particular things, and not necessarily these order. Attention, appreciation, affection, trust, emotional connection, security, and know how to create tension in them. I'm going to say it one more time. Attention, appreciation, affection. They want a man they can trust, a man they're emotionally connected to and mentally connected to, a man they feel secure with, and a man that knows how to create the right type of tension in them. You got that? Don't ever, even if you're married or in a long-term relationship, don't ever be like any other man she's ever been with. You be her hero. You be different. You respond different. You walk different. You talk different than any man that she's ever been with. That's why you got to figure out what was her type coming up, because they all got common denominators. All right? Okay, I said that already. All right, so I'm done with that part. And I'm going to just answer these questions, all right? Is that all right? Because I know about time. I think it's about almost 9 o'clock, so I'm almost done.
Ain't this what you came for? Don't you wish you came more? Girl, what you playing for? Come on, let me kiss that.